Now, I am Marky Billson, where SoCon John Hooper has just helped me out here and reminded me that the free agent quarterback with the Pittsburgh Steelers that used to play at Samford is named Devin Hodges. So I had mental... I got not a moment too soon. SoCon John Hooper normally joins us on Monday at 1:30 to talk all things Southern Conference. We started doing this last football season when we were recapping the football games and how things were panning out. And hey, let's look at the race when ETSU was about to tie for their first ever Southern Conference title. But instead, this started off where we're going to be doing this as a race this last week. If I wasn't making it by getting Steve Forbes all riled up, was that Jerome Rodriguez returns to ETSU, and for that matter, now Preston Parks returns to the Southern Conference. First of all, SoCon John Hooper, tell us a little bit, Preston Parks. You know, he used to be a star at the Citadel when he was there, the Citadel, but take us through the journey, because he's coming back to the SoCon, is he not?
Yeah, he actually played right here in Greenville, his high school basketball. Very good shooter. He actually back, I guess it'd be December of 2017. He just decided one day during a film session that, according to Coach Bachman, that he did not want to be a part of the Citadel basketball program anymore. But not only that, he just didn't really felt like he fit in at the Citadel, and so he decided to transfer. Ends up at, I guess, UT Martin, and so he actually hit a. I want to say this is right. He hit a mid-court buzzer beater against Chattanooga last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he stayed there for, I guess, a year, and then now he's back in the Southern Conference. As should be a pretty good 1-2 punch at, I guess, at point guard or at guard, really, for those guys. And boy, if you look at who Samford, is bringing in, they've recruited a lot of guards. I think they just signed a shooting guard yesterday, and Dante Tatum. So it's a lot of guards to go around. Of course, they've got the Guerrero kid, who's a 7-footer. Obviously, he's a big loss because he was such a rim protector, and he was good on the interior as far as what he could do offensively, and one of the league's leading shot blockers, as I said, and that'll be tough to replace. So you would think at some point that head coach Scott Padgett would go after maybe a big man to kind of replace him, but like we talked about before, they're so hard to come by at the mid-major level, such a dominant big man, and he had one last year, so I think Samford's got enough returning to be pretty sneaky good in the Southern Conference this season.
Well, that could be the dark horse that I thought VMI might become. Well, I think even more than what I thought VMI might become if Bubba Parham came back. And it fell a little bit down to 14 in 6 games, all starts the following year. That's when he transferred from the Citadel. Last year, though, at UT Martin, he was a part-time starter, 28 games played, 13 starts, and he only averaged 11 points a game for a team that went 12-19. I do think Parks, and we did see it his freshman year at the Citadel as talent, and so you're thinking, okay, you get a player, an 84% lifetime free throw shooter, for instance, that has proven he can do it coming off the bench, but yeah, it's something to look for. But what kind of Parks will it be? Will it be more of a sixth man? Will it be a 1-2 punch where he could increase his points a game? It bars a look-see, but yeah, Samford just got a lot stronger. I'll tell you who else got a lot stronger. ETSU at Jerome Rodriguez coming back. Whereas they were probably still the favorite in the SoCon, now would you say they're the overwhelming favorite in the SoCon with Jerome Rodriguez coming back?
Yeah, simply because these guys have played legend that going into next season, and that they will be the you look at, his rebounding ability, you can't teach that. That's instinct. That's something that, a lot of teams would love to have. That's a luxury that he can do. We talk about in baseball a lot of times. You've got the player who's sort of the utility guy, the 5-tool player. Really, Jerome Rodriguez is that in every sense in college basketball.
Well, he averaged 11 rebounds a game last year, and that put him among, not the nation's leader, but among the nation's leaders. Let's say that Jerome Rodriguez last year. So you pick that back up, and here's the year. And they are returning their top 6 starters. Now, but, this is a team that used to trade punches with ETSU, who, by the way, are coming off a 24-victory season, and they return their top 6 starters, just like the Davidson Wildcats. How big was that Armas loss? Do you think this team can have those riches that were dreamed of, the national ranking, now that Rodriguez is out, sans Maladen Armas, or should we just sort of leave that to Davidson? Because after all, they are in the Superior Conference these days. What are your thoughts? Can ETSU contend for a national ranking next year?
I think so.
Okay.
I think with Maladen Armas, obviously you lose a little bit defensively. He's coming in, and I think he averaged over 12 points off the bench for the Blue Devils last year. And so he's going to be a guy that'll come in and be an immediate impact player, especially offensively. So he'll probably, I'm guessing, that he'll move into that starting role for offensively and Hughley and what he brings to the table. Out and hit the perimeter jumper. So you have to respect his game. And he's going to benefit. Put it this way, he'll benefit ETSU more than losing Armas, if that makes sense.
We are talking to SoCon John Hooper. I've got to take a break right now, but when we come back, we'll get a little bit of football talk. Here we're talking basketball and all this, but also commissioner talk. And I don't know, am I the most hated member of the media among Southern Conference coaches? I hope not. Hey, I'm going to ask them challenging questions. I'm going to do it for you. Enough of this propaganda.